Happy Wednesday. Sports Your Program brought to you by National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. Oh, people not happy about the bills, NES, all of that stuff, Ken. I love how, hey, Mount Juliet, we cut you guys a deal. 400% was going to be your property tax raise, but it's only going to be 164.
Yeah, only 164.
Generous. Well, it's like when you go to a store and they're like, oh, it's on sale, right? Well, no, not really. It's not on sale. They make it seem like it's on sale.
That's if you buy 3.
Yes. Lies. There's no coupons. 164%.
Man.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. And
what county is that?
It's Mount Juliet.
Man, Mount Juliet. And, of course, their whole comeback there is like, well, look at Acme Feed and Seed, right? They're going to pay $600,000 from $130,000, so you guys should feel lucky
that we're only screwing you half as hard.
Yeah. How about apples that are those apples that you can no longer afford? Oh, good God, we should do the show we should ask them if we should do the show from Acme.
Absolutely.
Why are you looking at me? I wouldn't get to go.
Yeah, you would. I'd make sure that you went. No, because you don't want people to see. Here's the problem, Bell. You don't want people to see you, and then you bitch about I don't get to go.
They don't have to. I can come in dressed as a priest or something, and nobody's going to know it's me.
Guido Sarducci.
I know what we could do.
What?
We could just get him one of those disguises that's just like a pair of glasses and a mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Tuck my hair up under a hat.
Like they did with Superman that apparently nobody figured out.
Yeah, you just put on a pair of glasses and nobody knows who you are.
Man. Oh, you look like somebody I know, but I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure who that is.
Actually, it would be more like, you don't look like anybody I know. Who the hell are you and why are you here?
So insane.
Get out.
So insane. Fake comic book silliness. So NES, every time you find out something new, right? It ain't good. Yep, that's some good money she's making there. What's her total salary?
$654,000 a year.
To be a total screw-up.
$654,000 American dollars, too. None of this fake funny money. So that turns out to be $54,000 a month.
Wow.
Okay, so
how does the woman survive on that?
$340 an hour.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
They had only 160 linemen working the day the storm knocked power out to 230,000 people. They did not reach more than 1,000 workers on the ground until 4 days later.
Which was still significantly lower than the other major cities around us.
Yes, when we heard that Atlanta had, 18,000 ready to go?
Yes.
About the same amount in Charlotte.
Louisville had 10.
And several people that were working out there all said the same thing a day or two before any of this happened was, we didn't get enough polls. We don't have enough stuff.
Yeah. Records reveal, this is according to Channel 4, records reveal NES had no fiberglass, wood, or concrete poles in stock. None. They had none.
Man.
And had to replace more than 800.
How do you keep your job? If you're going to make, look, I don't begrudge anybody making money. I got no problem with that. It's great. Beautiful.
Sure.
Here's my issue. With that kind of money comes responsibility. If you're going to lead, you should lead. You lied. You strung people along. Then you hid, which was way worse. Then you sent other people up there who should never have been on stage answering questions. And now what have you done? They've kicked out, right? Aren't they doing that thing? And they've kicked it out to June now? The special
June
report?
2nd. The special, apparently a report is, they say they're going to wrap it up in May, and then the vote on the resolution to call on the NES board to fire the CEO will not be held, the vote will not be held until June 2nd.
I can tell you what it's going to say, or what it should say, is Teresa Broyles-Applin should be somewhere else, not getting paid off our tax dollars.
No, what it's going to say is, there were issues in the way that things have happened, and there was a communication breakdown, and it'll be a lot of words, and it'll be very big, and at the end of the day, what they'll say is, we have put in things that we believe will help us mitigate any problems we have in the future. Blah, 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 blah.
Teresa, just quit.
Man, you're very spicy today.
She isn't incompetent.
Yeah.
She needs to go.
For $654
People
grand.
died.
Yes, they did. They did. And not only that, how many people out there, right? Like Bell's a perfect example. Bell he borrowed my car because for the first few days, they couldn't even get over to take care of his car. Live wire, laying on the ground. So kids, feel free to pick it up.
No, it was laying on the car.
Yeah. And, and then how many people out there had to pay big money to cut stuff down, to pick stuff up and it was infuriating how bad this was. And because of that, you're going to get some weird-ass after-action report that will give her, because nobody's going to get fired.
I'm sure that they could have gotten to me sooner if they weren't giving Marsha Blackburn special treatment.
Yeah, which, well, I'm sure, did it or didn't it happen? Well, look, if you're Marsha, do I begrudge her? No, because anybody, if I had Teresa's number, I would have called her too. But if she would have done something where she's like, oh, yeah, I'm pulling all my crew off to come over there. But
the thing that kills me is, Marsha's state senator. National senator. She goes to Washington. I called Afton because I'm actually a constituent of hers, and asked her if there was anything that could be done. And her honest response was, not really. I can't, direct them to go to any specific location. I can't put you on a priority list or anything like that. And I think when she realized how powerless she was and how bad this was, that's when she went into the zone of, these people got to pay a price.
And I will say, when I spoke with Afton and we text back and forth, she had people at her house, neighbors who had lost power, and she brought them over, some people to come stay at her house, because she's like, we got to do what we got to do. And so many people out there, it was a giant cluster hump. And the communications, again, communication is so important. If you keep the people informed, they're willing to give you the opportunity to have some leeway, and they'll give you a benefit of the doubt here and there. You lied, you ignored, and then you went you went.
And your $250 million text system was a piece of garbage.
That thing was so bad. So bad. How do we get that gig, guys? Ken, I've been looking at fishing boats. How big of a boat do we need for our tuna?
How big of a tuna do we need to catch?
Well, for $1 million tuna, I'm assuming it's pretty big.
It's got to be pretty big.
Have you seen the guys on TikTok? Well, you haven't, Bell, because you're stuck in like 1983 or whatever.
He's afraid China's watching him.
Yeah, I know, even though they're watching him. But the guys who are catching those big tunas, and then a shark will come and just bite it in half.
Ruin the value of it
just
right there.
Destroys it, right? At that point in time, it's not even StarKiss.
That'd be my luck.
Oh,
so
God.
instead of turtles, I'd have to shoot sharks.
Great whites. Thanks for the free meal, boys. I'm out of here. Oh, Teresa. Now, a lot of you are very excited about Teresa. You're wondering where you get the application.
Quit, Teresa.
So, yeah, she's not quitting. She's not. That's not happening. $654 grand? She's not quitting. And the thing comes with a fat pension, too. If she does quit, they're going to...
Yeah, if she quits, that goes away, right?
Yeah, probably. But she's not quitting.
She still needs to quit.
Yeah. Well, because this is where you force them to fire you. And because of all of these, because it's, first of all, anything that's to do with municipality, state, government, they're not going to fire you with such cause for being derelict at your job or piss poor at your job. So they'll have to give her something, I'm sure, to go away. She probably has a contract that I'm sure is nice. And if she does quit, it'll be a move to something that is equally, ridiculous in pay.
Teresa, every time your head hits the pillow at the end of the night, the last thought you should think before you go to sleep is how incompetent you are.
Really? I thought you were going to say something like that. I'm under your bed. I couldn't get under your bed. I could, then you'd have to lay the bed over me then. And then I couldn't get out. So it's like, there's a monster in my bed, but he can't get out. By the way, great movie. If you guys want to watch a great movie.
Yeah.
Dust Bunny.
Dust Bunny. Okay.
Dust Bunny. If you guys, it is about a girl who, you guys have seen the movie The Professional? You know, with,
Anna Paquin.
Yeah,
and,
no, not Anna Paquin. It was, God, what's her name? Little dark-haired girl.
Played Padme.
Padme. I have no idea.
So, oh, God, The Professional. You guys know who it is. Somebody's going to hit me up with that. But it was Jean Reno and Leon, it was called in France. But it had Natalie Portman and Gary Oldman, who was awesome in that.
Gary Oldman.
Yeah. Do you remember Gary Oldman?
That.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Oh, he is just off the chain in this movie.
He's so insane
nuts.
in this movie. He's part of the DEA, and he's nuts, and he's crooked as hell.
And he's a drug addict.
Yeah. When he bites into the thing and he goes, oh, it's just awesome.
It's on the same level as what's his name's performance of Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, it's that kind of crazy.
Really?
Yeah, but Dust Bunny came out last year with Mads Mikkelsen, Sigourney Weaver, and David Dashkman. He's the guy that plays Polka Dot Guys in the Suicide Squad. But it's about a girl who she's 10, she hires her like neighbor who's a hitman. She's only got like change because there's a monster underneath the bed.
Interesting.
And turns out there is kind of a monster underneath the bed, and it's just really interesting. It's kind of psychedelic cool.
Does he actually take her change?
He does, yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah, you know what? If you're not paying for something, you're not getting the value.
That's right.
Right? Even if you're just given $1, it's about the value for the hard work.
She's scared to death, and he's taking her piggy bank.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you know what? Her doing that, right? Now you've built a relationship of I'm your customer, right? You're not just doing this as charity, so you're going to treat me as such until there's actually a monster.
It didn't cost that much for you to take the monster out, so I want the other value that I gave you. Get rid of my mom.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Brother Malone.
Jiminy Cricket Bell is on a hatred roll today. Just full of hate.
My favorite role Gary Oldman ever played was in a movie with Patricia Arquette and Christian Slater.
Oh, God, that was...
what was that called?
Where didn't he have one eye?
Romance.
True Romance. True Romance. Yeah.
And Val Kilmer played Elvis Presley, who Christian Slater would talk. That was his imaginary friend.
Yes. So that movie was so good. There's a little Quentin Tarantino-ish vibe.
Yes,
kind of thing.
very much.
But yeah, you guys like Dust Bunny. Very fun movie.
I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, but for sure. I mean, come on. It's
got Gary Oldman in it.
Gary Oldman, but go watch The Professional because Gary Oldman is crazy and it's amazing. And I think what Natalie Portman was 10 and she wants to learn how to become a hitman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he kind of takes her under his wing. And
there's a portion of the movie, if you guys have ever seen it, where it's when Clinton was in office and Clinton's running and they shoot him with a paintball from like 1,000 yards. Just because he's the best of all time.
Gary Oldman was the saving grace of that terrible Lost in Space movie.
Yeah, it was great. Just such a great actor.
Just his performance alone is worth watching it for, even though the rest of it's crap.
Just a great actor. And Churchill. I mean, he's got his Academy Award. The Churchill was great. It's just a great movie.
There's a movie he's in, guys. He plays a little person. It's Matthew McConaughey, Gary Oldman, and some others. And Gary Oldman plays Matthew McConaughey's character's brother, except he's a little person.
Well, that's cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
And through the entire movie, Gary Oldman is on his knees. It's the
Tiptoes.
oddest movie. Yes.
Tiptoes.
It's the oddest movie, one of the oddest I've ever seen. I love odd
Matthew
movies.
McConaughey, Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale.
Peter Dinklage.
Yes.
So
I'm surprised Peter wasn't screaming bloody murder that what his part
Well, this was pre him chasing the dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, because once he got big, he didn't want any of the other ones to get big. He wanted to be the tallest midget.
Right. But you gotta, I'm telling you, man, I sat slack-jawed during that entire movie. I was just, is this real? It is real.
They said Tiptoes, the film attracted controversy for casting of non-dwarf actor Gary Oldman as a dwarf. The last Chocolate Factory movie with Chalamet.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet.
it has Hugh Grant in it as the Oompa Loompa, and everybody got upset because they just CGI'd him to be tiny.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what they wanted. That Peter Dinklage, who speaks for all of you, that's what he wanted.
Apparently, he's the head of your union.
Yes, definitely. Apparently, he's the champion of your union, guys. So just deal with it. Whatever he says goes, and he'll be negotiating all of your non-contracts. He's the only actor that's allowed to work that small. That's what he told me, because he's a thespian. Coming up, one white woman Wednesday. Oh, let's see what the crackers are up to. Straight ahead, Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Somebody texted in 7383. Chad, disappointed you missed an opportunity. Dinklage is the union boss of the Lollipop Guild. Probably right. You're right about that one. Oh, man.
The Lollipop Guild.
You know how much money that Snow White movie lost? They talked about it. It hurt Disney so bad. They lost about $250 million on that nightmare.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, just
go woke, go broke.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you took 7 jobs away. Well, 3.5 jobs. That was so. Come on, we don't have to pay. We don't even have to pay him scale.
Didn't Dinklage get his panties in a bunch because they were actually using?
Yeah, they were going to use
dwarves.
So what they did is they just got stand-in actors and then shrunk them down CGI. Because
I thought he was pissed because they actually used dwarves, and then he was like, "That's all you think we can play."
He said that before. Right? Like he said, it's like even now they're getting ready to do this big movie. And of course, they live in caves, this, that, and it's a fairy tale, dude. You didn't fight dragons, right?
Well, he did.
So
chasing one.
By the way, so Ken, that movie Tiptoe or whatever it was.
Yeah.
People are saying, watch 2 Bears, 1 Cave, which is great with what's his name? Tom Segura. Them, and he says Matthew McConaughey's on there, and they show him the trailer.
2 bears and 1 cave.
Oh God! When I saw Matthew McConaughey, the first thing I asked him, everybody's like, they want to talk about his movies and this, that, and I'm like, my first thing is like, dude, and everybody's like, all right, or whatever. I'm like,
yeah.
So, you were in Texas Chainsaw Massacre too?
Yeah.
How about apples with those apples? And he's like, you saw that? I'm like, oh, yeah. So was Dennis Hopper, by the way. And, God, what's her name?
The chick. I can't remember her name.
She was in, God, we're getting old, boys.
We are.
We're getting old.
We are, man, and we're not even old.
No, we're not even old. But I was trying to think. She was in,
what's her name?
I'm trying to think.
Oh, I don't even know what we're trying to.
I'm trying to think. God, there was both their first movies. They got paid like $200 to do it or whatever. And she was in Jerry Maguire, whatever that girl's name is. The lady.
Got to look that up.
Who's like, you had me at hello. Her. Her. That was both their first movies was that, And he said he got offered another job, and then he was supposed to leave Texas. I'm like, hey, do you want to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre? He's like, okay. All right. Let's get crazy with our good friend and yours. You guys might know her as Kylie, because if you whisper racist things, it's because you're racist.
Despite the gaslighting, racists absolutely know that what they're doing is wrong, and here are 3 examples. Number 1, they always will whisper when they're being racist, which suggests that they don't want other people to overhear what they're saying because they know it's bad. Or just like any other minority, they'll whisper it because they think that it's something that's a way of bonding with another white person, and they know that it's risque. You're not supposed to say those things. Number 2, many of them do say slurs, or they will sing the N-word in songs, but they only do it when there are only white people around, which again suggests that they know if they say those things in public that it's going to be bad. There are going to be consequences because what they're doing is wrong. Also, a lot of racist white people know that if they say these things in public that they could be confronted or beaten up, which they should be, and they're cowards at the end of the day. So that is why they do these things in weird, secretive ways. And number 3, when they're teaching their kids to be racist, many of them will tell them not to tell other people. You don't want to mention this thing to other people, but certain parts of town you don't want to go to. Or teaching them very negative racist habits about certain areas. But again, they always know that what they're doing is wrong because it is said in a secretive way.
Yeah. So tell your kids there's a certain part of the town you don't go to.
Oh, she's on to us.
She is the whispering. Did you ever see John Mulaney when he was doing his stand-up talking about what he was going to do Saturday Night Live, and he had something in his opening monologue, and they came down to him and like, you can't put this in there. They're like, what word? Like midget. He goes, why can't I do that? Because it's offensive. It's like the N-word. He goes, no, it's not. He goes, how is it not? He goes, because you just said the word midget. And you would never say the N-word.
Renee Zellweger.
That's
and,
right.
Dennis was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah, that's what he was in.
McConaughey and Zellweger were in Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
The Next Generation. One of those awesome movies. It was fantastic. One of those movies I, of course, would like. And we should probably do a breakdown of it one day because that's what we should. We should have Bad Movie Monday.
Yes.
We'll start it on Monday. Bad Movie Monday. Start Monday. We'll break down bad movies because that's what we're doing. In fact, you know what? I was telling Belle. So today I'm watching one of my stupid things on the background that I'm watching, the Hallmark things.
Yeah.
And I look up and I take a picture, and it's my buddy who was in one of these things like 10 years ago. And I sent it off to him because he played not a nice guy in that movie.
Yeah.
He was a bad boy. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit about, I don't know, Operation Epic Fury or whatever. Was that what it's called?
That is it.
There you go. We'll talk a little bit about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. This portion of the program is brought to you by NCA, National Certified Alarms. No long-term contracts. License number 645. Ken, somebody texted in and said, did I hear Ken right? They're going to adjust the 2026 property tax assessment to the actual condition of the property?
He's not back there.
Yes, they're going to do that, Brother Chad. All right, cool. I have no idea. Which property tax, right? Like what city, what county, what area? Everything seems to be different everywhere. Mount Juliet, they're dropping it down from, 400 to 140 something or other, 120. You're welcome.
So generous.
You're welcome. You're going to be fine.
We were going to stab you all the way up to the hilt, but we've decided just to stick it in halfway.
My frustration has always been with property tax, no matter where you are in the country. He's back now? Hey, Ken.
What's going on, boys?
Somebody asked about the adjustment for the property tax in 2026. What is that going to be? Is it the condition of the property?
Yeah, it's going to be based on the condition of your property as it relates to storm damage.
Okay. So otherwise, I was going to tell you guys, you better start hoarding when they get around there. Make it gross.
Wait a minute. Maybe we should raise taxes again.
Oh, goodness me.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. My issue's always been with property tax. It's a sightless person that drives by and says, okay, yeah, we're gonna assess. I just feel like they're just, here, we'll assess everybody this. We've driven by 5 houses and looked at the Zillow market or Redfin, and we've decided your property is worth this. And how many people are like, there's no way I can get that kind of money for my property? There should be some accountability. If you raise somebody's property taxes, like Acme from, 130 to 600 grand, there should be a court you go to where you have to justify that in front of somebody's face. Let me tell you why it's $600,000. Because the property around here is rather expensive. Okay, but I bought it years ago. Well, that you should still have to pay for the going. And I'm always fascinated about the triple net lease where you do that, where you're not the owner of the property. Isn't that weird? I've never had that anywhere where you pay the property tax and you don't own the property.
That is weird.
Well, government will steal from you in any way you give them the chance.
I mean, so is it only if the property's occupied? So if I own a place and I don't know what Acme's worth without them, being there, and it's just the building, if it's empty, does nobody pay taxes on it? Or is it only when they're occupied?
Good question.
But it's just to drive people out of their homes, to drive people out of their livelihood. It's like, Freddie O'Connell's like, well, sometimes businesses go in and out of business, whatever, it was so ridiculous.
And I'm here to help them.
Government shouldn't put you out of business because they've taxed you out of business. I mean, that shouldn't, that's insane. That is crazy. And to think that, or people, remember when the property taxes first started coming out last year, and then they were calling, trying to get, some way to kick it down the curb because you had all these people that had lived in their homes for a long time. There's no way they're going to be able to make the property tax on any of these things. Here's a $300,000 bill. Have fun. Your mom's scrambling to pay it off. No, that's not a good thing. Somebody said the tax assessor always has the square footage wrong as well. So it's just
let me guess, it's always just a little bit higher than it really is.
Somebody said list it for 6 months. If it doesn't sell at the new tax rate, go back to the old assessed fare. Maybe. I don't, occupied or not, it's taxed the same. Ooh. So then if you don't have somebody paying the rent and now you got to pay the taxes on it,
but you're a greedy landlord if you raise the rent.
Yeah, but so think about this. I mean, Acme, what did they say? They pay $10,000 or $20,000 a month for their rent, and now they're going to have to pay $50,000 for their taxes.
Yeah, $600,000.
So let's say $70,000 just right there. If the guy's got a mortgage, I don't know what the mortgage is. Let's say the mortgage is 10. So he's going to have to pay $60,000. So for him to break even, or her, mostly him, for them to break even, they're going to have to charge $60,000 a month rent. What are you selling out of there? Cocaine?
Fentanyl.
That's not very nice. I can't believe that. That's just insane. Speaking of insane, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of all ages, I give you, what's her name? Lindsey Graham. Oh, I'm sorry about that, sir. It's a nice blouse.
One thing to President Trump in case you're watching.
So here he is talking about how we need to go deeper into war.
In 1983, Ronald Reagan sent Marines and sailors to try to police and deal with the Lebanese Civil War. They were at the end of the runway. Hezbollah attacked the Marine barracks, killed 220 Marines, 18 sailors, and wounded 100 others. Ronald Reagan, who I admire and love, withdrew and never did anything about it. So I'm calling on President Trump today. Join Israel to attack Hezbollah. Avenge the Marines. America never forgets. Those 220 Marines and 18 sailors' families, we want to go after the infrastructure that killed your loved ones. They're IRGC assets in Beirut as I speak. President Trump, come up with a new operation called Simplify. Fly with Israel and go after Hezbollah, who has American blood on its hands. Not only take the mothership of Iran down, also take the proxy of Hezbollah, settle the score, even the account.
If you have to go back 43 years to find an excuse to start a war, you need to shut your face and sit down and make sure your skirt's not showing anything.
No doubt. I mean, that right there, he is, somebody said, I'd rather listen to Lindsay Lohan in a nice blouse. I think we all would. So you want us to you want to open up another front. You want to do that. So we're going to go in somewhere else. That's your goal.
Chad, it's Lindsay. There's no such thing as enough war.
I know. We're going to get you. The next thing we're selling is Lindsay knee pads.
They take him onto bases and they show him missiles and stuff. They can't get him out of there.
No, he gets all excited. He's like, this is amazing. He's like, I like
how big that is.
Ooh, I like to get on a destroyer. Mm-hmm. That is insane, people. I'm sorry. It's insane. Absolutely. Every time you turn around, this dude is advocating for war. Even Tim Burchett said Lindsey Graham's not seen a fist fight that he doesn't want to bomb. I mean, Burchett said that because they all recognize, I don't know if he's getting commission from bombs or whatnot, but we don't need to go into anything more. Let's deal what we have in front of us. Let Israel, by the way, deal with whatever they got to deal with.
If we were going to retaliate, and I don't think anybody would have had a problem with retaliation, Reagan should have been the one to do it.
Yeah.
We sat on our hands. We did nothing. So now we're going to take it up and use that as an excuse 43 years later. Shut up, Lindsay.
Yeah. And that's, like yesterday we were talking about, every time we turn around, somebody comes up with it starts in 1979. Then it goes to 83. And then it goes, I'm like, okay, yes, Iran's done some bad things. We've traipsed all over the Middle East and done some bad things as well. We've started some coups. I mean, there's pretty much no place on earth we haven't tried to overthrow or at least just see what it's like before we step away and go, oh, that's not going to be good. So, but I don't think we need to send anybody into a hellhole. If Israel really wants to go fight Hezbollah and they're already in Lebanon, then let them go do it. Right? It's what we could have said the other day, which is, whatever reason we came up with to attack, and they're like, well, we found out Israel was going to attack, and so we decided to go. It was either that or us get attacked, or there was the third option where we tell them, no, that isn't going to happen. You are a client state. It's because of us that you survive. The answer in this one is no. I promised my people we're not getting any more wars. We don't need to. Let's go and negotiate as much as possible. But no. But instead, we're there. Now, let me ask you guys out there. You can text us. We'd like to hear. What is your, we can't be here forever. But is there a time when you're like, okay, they said 4 weeks, we'll do 4 weeks. Anything more than that, then I'm going to start having some issues with. Or are you fine with them being there in perpetuity? Because that's always worked out so well for us. Which it hasn't, by the way. It hasn't. And the Kurds are fighting now. And the Kurds, that has the potential to go sideways fast. Which is what Israel's goal, and I've been saying this for a while, is not the topple and replace with somebody like. Their goal at first is simply chaos. That's what they want. They want chaos.
Why are we doing Israel's dirty work for it? Iran posed no threat to the United States. None. It had no nuclear weapon. It had no nuclear weapons program. That was confirmed twice by the CIA and by the International Atomic Energy Agency.
And didn't want one.
And didn't want one. And there was a fatwa against developing one. And even if they had one, they didn't have a delivery system to deliver it. So, why are we doing Israel's dirty work for it? If the Israelis wanted to attack Iran, then go ahead and attack Iran. But why did we have to do it? Why are Americans dying in the name of Israeli foreign policy?
How ironic to wage a war based on nukes and take out the leader who withheld a religious ruling against nukes.
Exactly right. A dear friend of mine said yesterday that the next Iranian Grand Ayatollah or Supreme Leader is just going to issue a new fatwa, revoking the old fatwa and calling for a nuclear weapons program.
Yeah. Well, if you see all these things, what's the one thing we've learned over the last, say, 4 years? If you have a nuclear weapon, nobody messes with you. That's it. Nobody does. Who doesn't have a nuclear weapon? Ukraine. Who gets messed with all the time? And now is in the middle of a war, Ukraine. Who has a nuclear weapon, or at least has nuclear bombs, even though they may not be able to deploy them in the right way? Little fathead with his gout. And he saber rattles, and people throw him some money, and he gets left alone. Everybody would be thinking, well, we should probably get something here. Because if this is, if the chances that they want to take us over at any given time just because they seem fit, that's a scary prospect. What is your timeline? I would like to know. What is the thing where you go, hey, you guys said 4 weeks, and if we're there for 8 weeks, I don't think we're going to be there 4 weeks. I mean, I think we're going to be there for a while, but I don't think we're going to be there 4 weeks fighting. What does that look like for you? Is there a point where you say, all right, this is too much? Is there? I mean, for some people, they're going to go, oh, yeah, for everything we need. Whatever the administration is going to say, they're going to buy it. Hook, line, and sinker. This is absolutely true. But there's got to be some people out there who are like, you know what? 4 weeks, that's about right, So let me know. Tweet at us. Text us. You can tweet at me at Chad Benson Show. Coming up, kids, some more White Woman Wednesday. Plus, Bad Bunny's numbers are in from the Super Bowl. Very disappointing for a lot of people who didn't want to hear this. Chad Benson Show. This portion of the program is brought to you by NCA. No long-term contract with National Certified Alarms. License number 645. Guys, white feminism. I didn't realize. First of all, I just thought feminism. I didn't. Yeah. Again, I'm a pretty good feminist. Right, I'm pretty good, but I'm not, I'm not great.
As a white woman, I will admit that I did fall into the white feminism trap when I initially got into advocacy. And the reason why is because it's pitched as this perfect little bow, like, oh, like girl power, like it's not fair that men talk to us badly. And yes, while that's true, the problem is that white feminism completely ignores the struggles of Black and brown women, as well as intersectionality, or the ways in which being Black or gay or queer or disability can completely change your experience. It is not simply men and women in this world. There are millions of other categories that people can fall into. And by centering your experiences as a white woman, which is what white feminism does, you are overlooking this major part of the conversation and taking valuable, crucial time away from people who have other things to say, which is why I don't comment about the experiences of other people who fall into other demographics. I'm simply trying to educate white people to stop being racist, because I can speak to my own experience and history. Point being, if you find yourself being drawn into white feminism, I would encourage you to branch out and consider not just your experiences as a white person, but the privilege that you have and the ways in which that you benefit from the system, unless you were actively against it.
Yeah, so this is what we're going to do today, guys. Each one of us is going to be given a different color of feminism that we get to be. Belle, we'll let you choose first.
I really don't want to be involved in anything.
All right,
that has
Asian
to
you
do
are.
with
Hey,
her.
Belle's Asian. Ken?
I don't align with Kylie.
So I'm Latina. I'm a Latina feminist. By the way, not a lot of Latina feminists, just let you guys know that. Mostly I'm around the house just cooking. Like Consuela. No. She's just so... She has, like, normally she does like a video or two a day. There was a day when she must have done 6 or 7 videos.
Man.
Yes, a lot of stuff. Oh, there's a lot, too, on Iran. We'll play some of that, too. There is a lot about this. She is very... but there's a lady that's coming up who is so upset about Operation Fury, Epic Fury. And she might explode in the middle of it. I don't know. We should check and see. It's really bad. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. More on NES. Good money if you can get it. $654,000. Teresa making some big dollars over there. And with big dollars comes the great work that she did, guys. That's why she deserves a raise. Says Belle K.
No.
Hour number 3, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show.